Shravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare नाम संकीर्तन की जय जगन्नाथ बलेश्वर माई की जय शर गोस्वामी की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरयेत्. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayesha vadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtuki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, Prabhu's Mataji, thank you very much for joining and keeping up the appointment with Krishna. So today we'll be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 15th chapter. The two verses we'll be discussing today is verse number 27 and 28. So this chapter is entitled Description of the Kingdom of Godhead. Kingdom of God. There is a spiritual world, how it looks like, right? So let us discuss beside the 27th verse. Tasmin atitya munaya shadasajamanaha kaksha samana vayasa atasaptamayam Deva vachakshata grihita gadal parardhya Heyura kundala kirita vitanka veshav. Read the word to word meaning, synonyms. Tasmin, in that Vaikuntha. Atitya, after passing through. Muneha, the great sages. Sat, 6. Asajjamanaha, without being much attracted. Kakshaha, walls. Samana, equal. Vayasav, age. Atha, thereafter. Saptama Mayam, at the 7th gate. Devo, 2 Vaikuntha doormen. Achakshata, saw. Grihita, carrying. Gadal, maces. Parardhya, most valuable. Keyura, bracelets. Kundala, earrings. Kirita, helmets. Vitanka, beautiful. Veshav, garments. Translation and purport by Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear the translation purport. After passing through the 6 entrances of the Vaikuntha Puri, the Lord's residence, without feeling astonishment at all the decorations, they saw at the 7th gate 2 shining beings of the same age, armed with maces and adorned with most valuable jewelry, earrings, diamonds, helmets, garments, etc. Purport. The sages were so eager to see the Lord within Vaikuntha Puri that they did not care to see the transcendental decorations of the 6 gates, which they passed by one after another. But at the 7th door, they found 2 doormen of the same age. The significance of the doormen being of the same age is that in the Vaikuntha planets, there is no old age. So one cannot distinguish who is older than whom. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha are decorated like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma, conch, wheel, club, and lotus. Srila Prabhupada stands in purpose ki jai. Now let us recite the 28th verse. Mattadvirepa vanamalikaya nivitau vinyastaya sita chatushtaya bahumadhye vaktram bhruva kutilaya sputa nirgamabhyam rakte kshanena chamanag rabasam dadhanau. Synonyms: Matta, intoxicated; Durefa, bees; Malikaya, with a garland of fresh flowers; Nivito, hanging on the neck; Vinyastaya, placed around; Asita, blue; Chatushtaya, 4; Bahu, hands; Madhye, between; Vaktram, face; Bhruva, with their eyebrows; Kutilaya, arched; Sputa, snorting; Nirgamabhyam, breathing; Rakta, reddish; Ikshanena, with eyes; Cha, and; Manak, somewhat; Rabasam, agitated; Dadano, glanced over. Translation and purport of Divine Geshe Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The two doormen were garlanded with fresh flowers, which attracted intoxicated bees, and which were placed around their necks and between their 4 blue arms. From their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils, and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. See, their garlands attracted swarms of bees because they were garlands of fresh flowers. In the Vaikuntha world, everything is fresh, new, and transcendental. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha have bodies of bluish color and 4 hands like Narayana. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Itantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yanta Pravishya Mama Vacham Mama Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharasvadamnam Anyam Cha Hasta Charana Shravanato Gadhin Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Namo Vishnu Srimati Mahavishnu Samati Namani Namo Vishnu Srimati Vidan Swami Visheshwani Acharya Jai Krishna Hare Krishna Prabhu Mataji, welcome all of you. So it's a very one nice chapter, description of the kingdom of God, which gives a glimpse of how the spiritual world looks like. So that it gives a hankering for all the devotees, aspiring devotees, to go there, right? To go back and God. So they will start getting the faith in the Supreme Personality of God. Just like if you want to go to US, right? So you get the information from various sources, from the internet, from the person who has already gone there, right? So all these things. Then you get a traction. Oh, now you have to go. Then you start the process of visa, then passport, ticket, then packing, right? So the same way, this is a description of God. This is like a travel agency, of showing the spiritual world. So today in these 2 verses, we are talking about the Sanat Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras, the sons of Brahma. They are going towards meet the Lord. They want to have the darshan of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. So while they were going, they passed through the 6 entrances. And in the 7th, after the 7th entrance, from there they could see the 2 doormen. They are Jaya and Vijaya, doorkeepers of the Supreme Lord. and how they beautifully they're decorated, the ornaments, jewelry. So let us today discuss about the ornaments, the jewels, and all these things. Everybody likes, right? Especially the women, right? Matajis. See, generally, the ornaments worn by normal people that can invoke lust, anger, envy, and greed in the hearts of the people who are looking at it, onlookers. So for the person who is wearing them, it has a potential to arise pride on their opulence, and in turn push them into ignorance. So when a person wearing them is adored by everyone, certainly they tend to get puffed up, right? Oh yeah, I'm a rich man. But looking at or contemplating on others' ornaments, in itself it's not bad. It depends on who is looking and whose ornaments are looked at. Because, see, when a husband sees the wife who is decorated with ornaments, it has a positive effect. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 27th chapter, verse number 2, where he says, a woman is generally accustomed to dress herself nicely with fine garments and decorative ornaments. She may even sometimes wear flowers in her hair. Women especially dress themselves up in the evening because the husband comes home in the evening after working hard all day. So it is a duty of the wife to dress herself up very nicely so that when her husband returns home, he becomes attracted by her dress and cleanliness and thus becomes satisfied. In other words, the wife is the inspiration of all good intelligence. Upon seeing one's wife dressed nicely, one can think very soberly about family business. So when a person is too anxious about family affairs, he cannot discharge his family duties nicely. A wife is therefore supposed to be an inspiration and should keep the husband's intelligence in good order so that they can combinedly prosecute the affairs of the family without impediments. Such a wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada. But are there any ornaments which even the spiritualists can meditate on? Are there any ornaments which can relieve us from our bad qualities like lust, anger, etc.? See, all the Vedic scriptures, they recommend meditation on and remembering the Lord's form. And it is prescribed in the scriptures as a means for purification of consciousness and attainment of the spiritual world. See, the meditation on the Lord's form includes meditation on his transcendental ornaments. You can see, sort of chain, so many things are there, right? Glittering. This is because meditating on the ornaments of the Lord is completely different from looking at the ornaments worn by people, not ordinary people, mortals, right? See, in the Atharva Veda, Gopala Uttara Tapani Upanishad 61, the Lord himself states about this meditation. He says, Suke Yuranvitam Bhahum Kantam Mala Sushobhitam Jhumat Kirita Valayam Sfuran Makara Kundalam. What he says, one should meditate on me, decorated with armbands, beautiful garland, an effulgent crown, and dangling fish-shaped earrings. Now, since the Lord's ornaments are completely spiritual in nature, by constant meditation on the Lord's form, decorated with ornaments, such as crown, armbands, one becomes free from the qualities of lust, anger, pride, and envy. See, the meditation on the Lord's ornaments have exactly the opposite effect when compared to the ornaments of this world. Instead of degrading the consciousness, the Lord's ornaments, they elevate the person's consciousness and promote us to the spiritual world. And the Lord gives himself to such a meditator. He says in Gopala Tapani Upanishad, Dhyayen mama priyo nityaha samoksham adhigacchati samukto bhavati tasmai swatmanascha dadami vai. See what beautiful statement he gives, The dear devotee who constantly meditates on me in this way will attain liberation. Once he is liberated, I most certainly give myself to him. What an assurance, guarantee. Now, a question arises, what about the value of the Lord's ornaments? The answer is, since the Lord's ornaments are spiritual, their value is infinite and immeasurable. We cannot measure it. Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, 14th verse, he says, the Lord is full in 6 opulences, and one of which is wealth. He is very rich. He is very richly dressed with valuable jewels, and which are not visible within this material world. So one cannot fix any price for them in material terms. In the Bhagavata Puran, we find that each of his ornaments, like such as crown, the armlets, they are glorified as priceless. Parardhya hara balaya kiritang gada nupuram. And is further superbly adorned with a pearl necklace, a crown and pair of armlets, bracelets, anklets. So Prabhupada translates the word paradhya as priceless. Also, he is decorated with priceless necklace. Harena chananta dhanena, a necklace of unlimited value, 3828. Also, the rings, are an important ornament for men and women in marriage and other festival occasions. But even the costliest of the rings has a price, and it has a limited value. But the Lord's rings are of infinite value, as they are transcendental, as it is confirmed in Bhagavata Puran 2:11. Angulekir Mahadhanir, rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers. The word Mahadhanir means highly valuable. And the word Maha, when applied to the Lord, means limitless or infinite. See, when the monarchy was present, the kings used to wear a crown, which is considered a representation of their authority over the kingdom. Usually the crown, kirita, will be of high value and made of gold. In the case of the Lord, he being the supreme Lord of all material and spiritual worlds, he is decorated with crown which is invaluable. Also, in the past, both men and women used to wear earrings, kundalaha, according to their wealth. Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 10th chapter, 54th verse glorifies that the crown and earrings of the Lord are also invaluable. Anarghya kirita kundalaha. Srila Prabhupada gives the meaning of anarghya as incalculable value. See, in the case of ornaments, sometimes the ornaments will be of less value, but they will be studded with diamonds and valuable stones, which enhances their value. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 13 and 51, it states that not only the Lord's ornaments are priceless, but they are fixed with stones, jewels and pearls, which are also priceless in nature. As Sumaharha Mani Brata Kirita Katakangadaihi, adorned with a crown, bracelets and armlets, which are all bedecked with many priceless jewels. The word Maharha means greatly precious. So in the purport 3:28:15, Srila Prabhupada states, the Lord's bangles, necklace, crown and anklets are all bedecked with invaluable jewels. Now, since the jewels and pearls are spiritual, there is no material calculation of their value. And in addition, the Lord is decorated with variety of pearls and chains, which are also priceless. Paradhya Keyura Mani Praveka 3:8:29. The Lord's body was decorated with valuable jewels and pearls. So, having limitless value, matchless beauty in terms of design and appearance, and on top of all, ability to purify those who see and remember them, the Lord's ornaments are worthy of meditation by all spiritual aspirants. So when you go to have the darshan in the temple, or wherever in somebody's homes, You have to see. That is a meditation. Not just see the Lord on the face and then do the dandavats. You can see each and every, like his tilaka, kundala, right? The armlets, the chains, only one by one you can see, and the beautiful dress. This is a meditation. And it is said that you will get liberated, you will purify. See, in many places of Bhagavatam, we see the meditation of the Lord's form decorated with ornaments is recommended. And there are some pastimes the Lord did in this regard with his various devotees. So, we can see that absorbing ourselves in the transcendental form of the Lord, adorned with divine ornaments, results in purification of one's intelligence and loss of taste for opulence of this world. They also lead to attaining love of God, by which the Lord sells himself to such a devotee. There's a nice pastime in the life of Tirumalai Alvar, one of the 12 Alvars of Sri Vaishnava line in South India, right? When he was halting in a village called Perumpuliyur, Alvar was always absorbed in the Lord's beautiful form in his heart, and always meditating on the well-decorated form. So once he was collecting materials for doing his daily worship and walking to various places to collect them. As he was moving in different directions, Lord Vishnu's deity in the village temple was constantly turning towards the directions where the Alvar moved. So the priests were amazed by this incident and showed it to some Brahmins, and in turn, they went to a devotee, Perumpuliyur Adigal, who was performing a sacrifice in that village, and informed about the incident and the greatness of Alvar. Perumpuliyur Adigal at once left the place of sacrifice and met the Alvar, offered his pranams, and requested the Alvar to visit the place of sacrifice. On his visit, Adigal performed the Agra Puja, that is the foremost respect, to the Alvar in the sacrifice. And some of the priests objected to this. So Adigal felt sad and informed the Alvar that he cannot bear their words. So Alvar sang a Pasuram, means poems composed by Alvar in Tamil language in glorification of the Lord. So he sang towards the Lord situated in his heart and prayed to him to reveal his presence to everyone. The Supreme Lord, obliging at once, revealed his presence with his consorts, Garuda, Adishesha, and all his ornaments and dress, and the priests were able to have the darshan by Alvar's mercy. So powerful. So all the priests who opposed the Alvar realized his greatness and fell flat at his feet and begged for his forgiveness. They then carried him in a palanquin and attained his mercy and became his disciples. Alvar then explained them the essence of all scriptures in great detail and made them elevated devotees. See, we can see that Alvar was completely absorbed in the form of the Lord in his heart, and was fully decorated, and due to his love, the Lord was ready to respond whenever Alvar requested him to appear. That's what he already declared in the Gopalta Upanishad we saw earlier. So the Lord's ornaments, decorations, are not only attractive for yogis who are expert in meditation. Even a normal person who has sincere desire to hear about the Lord's decorated form can develop great attraction for him and attain detachment from the opulences of this material world. See, in one of his very nice pastime, in one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada tells the story of a thief who was attracted to the Lord by hearing about his costly jewels and ornaments. Please hear carefully. Wonderful story. Pastime, right? One professional reciter was speaking from Bhagavatam, and he was describing that Krishna, being very highly decorated with all jewels, was sent to the forest for tending the cows. The speaker also said that Krishna is always residing in the forests of Vrindavana. So there was a thief sitting in that discourse and listening. So he thought, why not then go to Vrindavana and plunder this boy? He's in the forest with so many valuable jewels. I can go there and catch the child and take all the jewels. His motive was impure, but he was determined that I must find out that boy. So in one night, what he was thinking is, in one night I shall become millionaire. Kaun banega crorepati, right? Right. So much jewelries. So from the descriptions of the speaker, the thief was fully engrossed in the form of Krishna with all the jewelries. So he was hearing Bhagavatam. It was not his intention to hear Bhagavatam, right? Because when he heard these words, there's a boy in Vrindavana full of jewels, all jewelries, and we heard all this description. Divide day-to-day struggle, just one time, millionaire. So he was listening carefully, the pastime being described in the Bhagavatam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, right? So he was constantly eager and anxious. I must see Krishna, I must see Krishna. So that anxiety and eagerness made it possible that in Vrindavana he saw Krishna. Because he was so much eager, but his intention was different, not pure, but still he wanted to hear, see. He saw Krishna the same way as he was informed by the Bhagavatam speaker. He saw the Lord was so beautiful and had all transcendental ornaments on his form. So now the thief began to flatter Lord Krishna so that he can take all the jewels. The small boy, no? So the Lord took this flattery as glorification. And the person was slowly getting purified in the association of the Lord's form. Not only the Lord's form, ornaments and presence also. So when he proposed his real desire to the Lord, so may I take some of these ornaments? You're so rich. Lord Krishna as a child replied, no, my mother will be angry. I cannot allow this. You see the discussion with the thief. In the normal material world, they will show and then snatch and go away. But here is totally different. So the thief was attracted by the Lord and said, we will meet again tomorrow, so that he can slowly convince him to give the jewels. So in subsequent interactions, he became more and more eager for Krishna. So by his association, he had already become purified. Then at last, Krishna said, all right, you can take. But by this time, he has already become a devotee and refused to take the jewels. The thief wanted to steal the Lord's jewels. But the Lord stole his stealing propensity itself. He's a bigger thief, right? But he stole the stealing propensity which the thief had. That itself he removed. He became a great devotee. Because he was purified. Just by the darshan of the Lord, he became purified, right? So Srila Prabhupada says in the book, Journey of Self-Discovery, the first thing Krishna is looking for is how eager you are to see him. The first thing Krishna is looking for is how eager you are to see him. Krishna will respond. If you are actually eager to see Krishna, whether you are lusty or you want to steal his ornaments, or some way or the other you have become attracted to Krishna, then it is sure your efforts will be successful. You saw in this story, right? So this is very, very important for us to understand. So this incident shows the purifying effect of the Lord's form, no? Which is decorated with transcendental ornaments, and how it can transform a thief into a great lover of God. So this is the beauty of these statements. See, we will see how the ornaments of the Lord represent the different aspects of nature and what we should learn from each of these ornaments. Let us take one by one. Kaustuba jewel. As per Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord wears the valuable Kaustuba jewel on his chest, and it represents the pure living entity. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura recommends that we become humble by practicing the following meditation. In fact, all living entities constitute the Kaustuba gem on my Lord's chest. Therefore, I should never envy or deride any living entity. See, the Kaustuba jewel also represents the Lord's power to illuminate from which the sun, moon, fire, and power of speech originates. Sun, these are the illumination, no? Sun, moon, fire, and power of speech also originates from the Kaustubha jewel. So by remembering this, one can be grateful to the Lord for the benefits we derive from sun, moon, and fire. Also use our power of speech for His glorification. This is Kaustubha jewel. Then Lord's earrings, Kundala. The Lord's earrings represent the two processes, Sankhya and Yoga. Just like the earrings decorate the Lord's ears, we should also decorate our ears with the Sankhya, that is philosophical truths about the Lord's supremacy, and Yoga, that is glories of devotional service and devotees. Lord's crown, Mukut. The Lord's crown, which bestows fearlessness on the inhabitants of all the three worlds, represents Brahmaloka, the topmost planet in the universe. So by remembering the Lord's crown, one can recognize His supreme authority and surrender to Him to become fearless. What about Lord's armlets? Lord's armlets represent the four goals of life, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Religiosity, wealth, sense enjoyment, and liberation. And these goals are glorified even by the devatas of heavenly planets. They glorify this because a person who gets this human body in the earth, he gets the human body in the earth only, earth planet only. He can perform very meritorious activities and progress towards perfection. So by remembering the Lord's armlets, one can understand the importance of human form of life. 84 lakh species, we've gone through so many, and then we have got this human form. So this is very, very important to understand that. Then Lord's necklace. Lord wears a special necklace which is embedded with 5 precious gems: pearls, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds. This signifies the 5 elements of material nature: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and also the subtle form of them, namely touch, form, taste, smell, and sound. So from this we understand that all our sense of touch, form, taste, smell, and sound should be channelized in glorification of the Lord and serving Him. So thus by remembering the various ornaments of the Lord in relation to their representations, one can advance towards perfection and attain freedom from all material bondage. See, that's what is confirmed in the Shruti Mantras, Svetasvatara Upanishad 2.15. It says, the practitioner of yoga, after realization of the self, visualizes the Supreme Lord by His mercy as one sees an object with the lamp. When one sees the Lord who is unborn, unchanging, and who is characterized by all entities, which represent His ornaments and weapons which are on His form, he will be freed from all bondage. So here it is stated that realization of the absolute truth means realization of His transcendental form with all paraphernalia, such as weapons and ornaments. The word Sarva Tattvaihi means ornaments and weapons of the Lord, which are represented by various material and spiritual representations. That's why in Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 11th chapter, verse number 3, also gives the result of such meditation of the Lord. It says, by expertly worshipping the Supreme Lord, a mortal can attain immortality. By meditating on the Lord's ornaments, one can attain immortality. So we will see what such a devotee of the Lord who meditates on the form decorated with their ornaments attains after departing from this world. Let us see what such a devotee who always meditates on these forms and decorations, what does he attain after departing from this world? How meditating on the Lord's ornaments purify our consciousness and have many spiritual benefits. Let us see. See, the ultimate benefit is it bestows immortality to the devotee or yogi. See, when such a person departs from this world, at the end of his life, he attains the spiritual world, where he gets a spiritual form with similar bodily features like the Lord. And he also receives the similar ornamental decorations like the Lord, such as his yellow color dress earrings, crown, necklaces, armlets, which are all extraordinarily beautiful and transcendental. When Lord Brahma was born of the lotus flower, which emanated from the Lord's navel, Brahmaji meditated for many years. And at the end of this meditation, Lord revealed the spiritual world to him. There, the inhabitants were dressed and decorated. How? We can see in 2, 9, 11 and 12 in Bhagavatam. It says, they are just the age of growing youths. They all have 4 hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces, with ornamental medallions. And they all appear to be effulgent. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion, and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. Srila Prabhupada very nicely states in the purport, there are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya, or possessing bodily features like those of the personality of Godhead. The Vaidurya diamond is especially meant for the personality of Godhead. But one who achieves the liberation of bodily equality with the Lord is especially favored with such diamonds on his body. How wonderful. So that's why the 27th verse in this canto, which is 3:15:27, which we recited today, which we are discussing in this verse. So in this verse, we see that the 4 Kumaras went to the Lord's abode to have his darshan. And they crossed the different gates and reached the main gate of the chamber where the Lord resides. It was guarded by Jaya and Vijaya. And their description is given in the 27th verse, which we saw. It says that they saw at the 7th gate 2 shining beings of the same age, armed with maces and adorned with most valuable jewelry, earrings, diamonds, helmets, garments. That's why we were discussing full of jewelry today. So I opened a jewelry shop. Okay. Krishna has opened a jewelry, not me. So by meditating on the ornaments of other persons in this world, just think about it. By meditating on the ornaments of other persons in the world, whom we may feel envious of, we just end up in fueling our envy and end up in despair. We may or may not get the ornaments which we aspire for, as we need not, because we need to have a karma to enjoy the rich ornaments also. Even if we get them, we cannot enjoy. We cannot enjoy them forever, since we need to leave everything at the time of death. In the next life, one has to work again to earn the money and purchase the ornaments. Correct? But by meditating on the Lord's ornaments, we become decorated with similar spiritual ornaments in the spiritual world. And they will not be destroyed by time or taken away from us. Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of 3:25:38 in Bhagavatam, he says, in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of the demigods or of time. Therefore, there is no question of destruction. When the time element is present, there is a certainty of destruction. But when there is no time element, past, present, or future, then everything is eternal. Also, one has to put in a lot of hard work to achieve material wealth, to buy the ornaments. Correct? If you want to buy gold, how much work you have to do? Day in, day out, like a donkey you have to work. But the process of bhakti is simple. It is simple and sublime. But the process of bhakti is simple, sublime, and joyfully performed, by which one can reach the spiritual world and become decorated with eternal ornaments. Again, Prabhupada in the 3rd canto, 15th chapter, 20th verse, in this current chapter only, 20th verse, he says in the purport, in the material world, opulence are achieved by materialistic persons by dint of their labor. Correct? So much hard work we have to do, running around early morning till traveling, traffic jam, headache, so much labor has to be involved to get that money for buying the ornaments. One cannot enjoy material prosperity unless he works very hard to achieve it. But the devotees of the Lord, who are residents of Vaikuntha, have the opportunity to enjoy a transcendental situation of jewels and emeralds. This is the reason. That's why Srila Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness all over the world, so that people can meditate on the Lord's form, ornaments, qualities, and names in this world and decorate their lives with the most opulent ornament, which is love of Godhead, and thereby attain eternal ornamental decorations in the spiritual world also. We stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki, Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji. So today we purchased a lot of gold jewelries. So meditate on them. And then Krishna has given the guarantee, 100% guarantee. You go back home, back to God, and you will be having the same form and decorated with all those wonderful ornaments. In the material world, even if you have ornaments nowadays, we cannot wear it also. Problem is because if you get, there is thief. The thief is not so wonderful as the thief went to Vrindavan, right? To take it from Krishna, so that he can become in one night a Kaun Banega Karurpati. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada has given this opportunity for all of us, right from morning. So from now on, now we can. There are so many meditations and so many things are going on. They meditate on nothing. Close your eyes or see some just lamp or fire, water, some one object. Where is the beauty? Nothing is there. But you just go to the temple. Don't close your eyes. Open your eyes. See in front of you. And go on right from the, it is said, no, you should meditate from the bottom, from the lotus feet of the Lord. Slowly, the anklets, then slowly go up, the dress, beautiful dresses, the armlets, then the chain, the earrings, the crown, the tilaka, so many other decorations. The temple is so beautiful. And also at home, various people have their deities. They have the Radha Krishna deities, they have Gaunita deities. So many things are wonderful. It's already there. Krishna has already come in your life. You have to just see him with that love and affection. Go on meditating, and the meditation will purify your consciousness. Our main purpose of the human form of life is to purify our consciousness. This is one way, but people say, then what about there's so many troubles? We get so many trouble in the headaches also. No? So how can we meditate? In the troubles also is for your purification only. There also, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita shows, Krishna tells you, gives us instructions how to behave in this material world, how to tolerate, right? All these things he has already told. Because by tolerating, by not getting agitated, by speaking pleasing words, which is given in Bhagavad Gita, all these things will purify our consciousness. Plus this meditation. In fact, by meditation, your behavior becomes wonderful. So thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatrubhisya kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. If you want to share or anything, then you can do that. Otherwise, we can close here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining.
Thank you, Pallavi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I didn't know that, we have like meditating on the ornaments also has so much benefit.
True, Mataji. But we meditate when we go to a jewelry shop, right? So much. And that is of no use. This is what is important.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
As you said, so beautiful. We have to just, like for impersonalists, there is no beauty. Like they don't see any beauty. For us, it's so good. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you to Srila Prabhupada for giving us such glorious opportunities.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandot Pranam, Prabhu. Very nice.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. We close here, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful explanation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It's all Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada's mercy.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for explaining about the important jewels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. So don't go and buy the jewels. Just concentrate on the jewels. Of course, you can buy, but for Krishna's glorification, you can wear it on Krishna. Yes, not for self-gratification.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, be safe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shobha, Sunita Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv Krishna Prabhu, Shanta Govinda Prabhu, Pasna Mataji.